Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller.
Standing out from the crowd is a challenge. You have the passion, courage, and ambition to do something extraordinary. You have an awesome story to tell and a wonderful vision to share with the world. At Eddie Videos, we take that vision and turn it into reality so you can be heard above the rest. You need something different, and we give you the ultimate advantage. We can help you transform your ideas, images, and clips into a professional video that brings your message to life and sets a new bar for excellence. Visuals, voiceovers, editing, animations, whatever you need, we've got it all. If you're a new business looking to make your mark or an experienced company searching for something new and amazing, we're here to help. Trust us to take your video to amazing levels of awesomeness.
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
They're going to toss it. They haven't got it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the UkSimracers MX5 Season 4 of 2023, Round 11 at Zandvoort with one round remaining. I am James Parfitt. I'm joined in the booth by Mr. Zach Sweeney here this evening as well. Welcome along, everyone. I hope you are having a wonderful Tuesday, as I got reminded about 5 minutes ago. Let's keep you up to date with the standings. This is the pro standings for this season. Tom Griffiths out in front on 1,302. Then John Sylvester on 1,258. Jamie Ayres on 1,253. Ewan Bramer on 1,191. And Miles Owens on 1,164. PBG on 1,129 in 6th, with Steve Hefford on 1,026 in 7th. They're really the ones that, if Tom Griffiths has a bad one, they still might be able to catch him. We've got Ralph Cullen, Pete Newman, Dan Hunt, Charles Callum, Lee Deemer, Brian Holmes, Ches Rizzo, Martin Sampson, Darrell McLean, and Jono Johnson after that. Now, the situation in the AMS. Arnold Chagnon is out in front on 882 with Dan Lewis in second on 742 with Darrell Wright on 660. I'm looking at that and thinking that is not correct. Darrell Wright is on 742. I'm not quite sure why it's put Dan Lewis on 742, but it is actually Darrell Wright on 742. Give me 2 seconds why I correct that one here as well, and put that at the right one, as I'm not entirely sure why it has done that. There we go. And it's still got Dan Lewis up there. What are you doing, dear sir? Come on, be nice. There we go. Darrell Wright on 742 with Roger Moore on 577 with Fiona Siddons in fourth on 519. Now in the team standings overall here, we will have, currently it will be SOB is out in front on 4215 with Momo on 3873. Then we got Results Clothing, Orion Race Team, Work Guard by Result, Air Smart Racing, Safeguard by Result, Pure Sims, Optical Green, DOF Reality, Year One, Fix Auto, there as well with Optical Red behind that. Now in the Cup that everybody is waiting for, the Prediction Cup standings, here they are. You have got Ria Subra out in front on 1434 with Phil on 1344, Zach Sweeney on 1183 and myself on 1137, and David Ayres, Shadow, Colin Sampson, Lee Deemer, Mikey Pollard, Tuxin Munchkin, Gary Walsh, Handsome Stew, Jason Addington, Carl Hardy, Tyes Van Gaal, Dan Babbage and Brian Holmes are everybody that has joined in. Well, you've listened to me babble on. We are going into qualifying as we speak. It's time to bring the young Mr. Zach Sweeney into the booth. Good evening to you, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, actually. It is a Tuesday evening, thankfully. For context, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, when I jumped into the booth with James, he said, "How's your Monday going?" I was like, "It's Tuesday." He's like, "Oh, it does appear to be." But anyway, that's the little context behind the little gag over. We're here, of course, in the Netherlands to one of the newly rescanned circuits, of course, on the RSN platform. We now get the banks here at Zandvoort, and I absolutely love this circuit. I think it's yeah, obviously now with the rescan, with the bankings and things, it really opens the door for some good overtaking opportunities, and obviously makes Zandvoort less of a track position dominated circuit. It still primarily is, but in these MX5 should still be a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the case, isn't it? It should be quite an interesting one. I'm thinking that there could be some very interesting developments. We've looked down into turn one. That should be nice for a decent overtake as well. Will it happen? Well, as we've seen previously, it can happen anywhere with these cars. So let's see how they get on. We are in qualifying here as well. It's getting very, very close at the top here, Mr. Sweeney, as we've only got one round remaining.
Well, technically two. Obviously today and next week. So we've still got 8 races left to go, which is what, 480 points left on offer, 60 times 8? No, yeah, no, hang on, 420 maybe? Whatever it works out to be. No, 6 times 8 is, no, it is 48. Sorry, I'm having a blonde moment. Just ignore me. But yeah, you know, there's 480 points still left on offer. There's still plenty of things, you know, wide open in terms of that championship. I love how after so many races, so many ups, downs, roller coasters, there are still 3 drivers in the form of Griffiths, Sylvester and Ayres within 50 points of each other. Less than a race win after so many countless races. We're on to round 11, so we've had 40 races up until this point. And yet the gap is only 50 points, which, you know, is a little over a point per race gap between the top 3, which is absolutely insane as to the competitiveness that we've had. So yeah, all comes down to this. Those top 3, I mean, Griffiths and Ayres have always been punchy. Sylvester's been quite reserved this season, but it's worked really well for him. So let's see what these guys have got in store for us over the course of the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, definitely here as well. Good evening, Ria. Good evening, Phil. Good evening, Austin Draper there once more, as you all can see. having a nice little chat about the Predictions Cup and what the situation is with that one. Let's not all go and start crying about it last time. I'll tell you what you can do. You can go and...
Bang.
Yeah, I know. You can go and I tell you what, the Simi 2023 nominations are open, okay? So you can go and have a look and put your nominations in for that one. As you know, to be honest, I'm working, everybody knows this, I think. I'm working with VCO anyway on the judges thing. So please go and have a look at the nominations. Put your nominations in, who you think is the best oval, the best driver, the best commentator, Zach Sweeney, the best livery, the best whatever you want to go and put in for that one. So go and have a look at them as well, because it's it's going to be an absolutely epic VCO Semis this year. Once more, there is a very wide scope of individuals as the judges, from podcasters to racers to team managers to everything you need to make the judges panel as varied as it possibly is. It is this year, so go and get your votes in there as well. That would be absolutely amazing. Mr. Sweeney, I've seen all your Twitter posts. You're going after this big star.
Nah, I mean, not really. Also, sorry for my cough earlier. I took a sip of tea, went down the wrong throat. And,
the wrong throat or the wrong hole?
The wrong throat. The wrong hole in... it's fine. It goes back to... If anyone does follow me on Twitter, which you should, by the way, it definitely relates to the tweet. I put out... I said... I reposted the tweet that VCO put out. I said, reasons why you should vote me for best commentary of VCO Simi 2023. And then I put straight underneath that, thanks for reading, have a nice day. Obviously to imply that there's not really any reasons. And literally, yeah, the lack of English definitely does go with that. But if you do feel inclined to vote for me, please do. I mean, it would be nice. Have heard that we get 10 finalists this year, which doubles my chances of being into the final lot, which is great. So there we go. Fingers crossed. I won't be disappointed. I've got my entire family to vote for. Actually, I haven't got my entire family to vote for me yet. I've got everyone at work to vote for me, and some lovely people out on Twitter that have done as well. Shout out to you guys. If you do feel inclined to, by all means, go for it. I don't think James is allowed to vote because he sort of abstained from it. But It's just all right.
Do you know what? I've looked at the list and I haven't done anything, right? I literally, the initial instincts of the VCOs for me obviously was to invoke the change that went on, right? And it has been changed and it's been absolutely amazing. The change has been incredible. I've been working with Florian. We've had meetings. We're talking on a daily basis near enough about them, and we're making changes and all of this stuff. So for me personally, people have asked me like, are you happy about the fact that you can't go and win it? And I turned around and said, you know what? At the end of the day, it was never about winning it. It was always opening it up to people that don't get noticed in the community, opening it up to a fairer system. And I think that's what we've got this year. We have got such a mix. It's going to be incredible. So for me, it was never about winning. It was always just about opening it up and being transparent with everybody and giving more opportunities. So am I bothered that I can't win it? No, not really, because everybody else, and I know of people that recommended some commentators we've never heard of, but they are absolutely amazing. So if people like that can get exposure, I'm not worried about it. I don't, you know what I mean? I know there's people out there still moaning about the new system and they're still, moaning that people are being brought in from random genres and moaning about the fact that it's changed and all of this sort of stuff, but they're the people who probably had the friends on the panel. So I don't really care, to be honest. I really don't care.
Bang.
I'm sorry, I don't. When people moan to me about it, it literally just shows that they're bitter about the fact it's come away from where it was last time. The idea of these awards was to open it up for everybody. That's what we've done. Fairer system, fairer judges. If there happens to be a nomination that is related to a judge, the judge can't vote in that specific area either, so their votes won't be counted. And I think it's fairer, and I really don't care about DMs that turn around and go, this system isn't going to work. No, you're only bitter because you're your mate is Bob is not on the panel. So I don't really care, to be honest. I'm past caring. All I know is that me and Florian are happy with the system in place. We've worked hard trying to get it together, and that at the end of the day is what made the Simi Awards this year probably one of the fairest, most transparent and open systems that it has ever had as well. So there we go. Right, now I've finished my little rant. We're going into qualifying, 5 minutes on the clock. We got E1 Bramer sitting out in front. Zach, you got 3 minutes before you get your picks in for race 1. If you do want to join into our prediction cup, just put who you feel is going to win. The only rule is you can't have the same person twice. That is it. So get your picks in, who you're going for in race 1, who you're going for as well for race 2. Make a note that race 2 is a top 11 reverse, Mr. Sweeney.
Noted. Yeah, absolutely. Probably will still end up asking by the time we get to the end of race 1 anyway. But that's why I deserve a Simi, because I'm very forgetful. Anyway, it's fine. We'll stop about the Simis for a minute. We're here in the Netherlands, and we've got Ewan Bramer, who's Dutch, on provisional pole, and then we've got PVG, who's also Dutch, in P3, which I think is very successful on home turf for the Flying Dutchman of Bramer and Van Gaal. In terms of my pick, I'm probably going to get in early. See, I want to say Bramer. But I also want to say Van Gaal. I just want to go for one of the Dutchmen because they both look quick. They both are punchy. They both will get the job done. As Pete Newman makes a bit of an issue with that one. That's busy. Yeah. E1 Bramer's session is over. He's in the pit lane. Obviously, these guys aren't allowed back on track after they've damaged their car. Well, they are, but they have to go back to pit lane first. So Bramer and Newman both out of this session. PVG then is the last one who is going to be able to take pole position. Let's see if he is going to be able to. Yeah, I'm going to go with Bramer race 1.
Bramer. Okay. Let us know.
Phil's gone Newman.
Yeah, Phil's got Newman. If you've not been involved in this, get your name down, see who you want to pick. It really is just for a bit of fun, guys. I'm not saying that I won't invent a trophy out of something, but come and get involved. Come and get, have some fun with us as well. Tell us who you think is going to win. I'm going to go with Griffiths this time, I think, for race 1. Who's spin, Bramer or Newman? Newman spun. So, but Bramer, I think, had a moment and went back to the pits as well. So there you go. Both of them cannot improve. Tom Griffiths can. Currently, as he's in sector 1. Ria's going for Bramer. So we've got 2 for Bramer. Then Newman, then Griffiths. I got Tom Griffiths, says Austin. Right, I'm going to write you down. Mr. Draper. Griffiths. I'd go for Griffiths as well. So there we go. Right, race 1 votes are locked in. You cannot make any amendments now. So no changing, just make a note. It's a top 11 reverse. JPB was listening to my thoughts. Always, mate. Always. I always listen I always listen to people's opinions. Generally, that's what gets me in trouble when I end up having to chat to stewards the following day. But all in all, if you're going to do it, you might as well go down swinging. That's what my dad always says.
Well, yeah, I guess. I'd rather just not go down at all. But, if you're going to go, might as well go out taking as many of them as you can, I suppose. I don't know. Depends on your stance on violence. Maybe you might be a pacifist, or whatever tickles your fancy.
To be honest, it doesn't necessarily mean violence, though, does it? When it goes, you might as well go down swinging. You know what I mean? It can mean
passive aggressiveness in the sim racing community.
It doesn't. It means lots of different things to lots of different people. The way it's pronounced. If you're going to go and upset everyone, you might as well go and do it full bore rather than doing it. Half.
Oh yeah, don't half-heartedly do it.
No.
If you're going to be out of order, commit to the bit.
Yeah, you might as well do it like I did. Whack out a video. But
2 TikTok videos.
I had to do. No, TikTok split them into 2 because it was too long.
10-minute videos. Was it longer than 10 minutes?
It was, yeah. It was about 15. Just go, don't try in your best. That's what I agree with Mr. Draper there as well. So, yeah, I agree. Jamie Ayres is still out on track. Charles Kellerman is out on track. And Steve Hefford as we're going into the last 56 minutes here as well. Yeah, it was about 15 minutes. TikTok split it up into 2 7.5-minute batches. Oh, there we go. Well, man.
Fair enough. Yeah, no. Yeah, good on TikTok. Sort of gave us the suspense of waiting for 2. I know I was eagerly anticipating. I think I was sat at work, and I was just like, oh, there it is. Clicked on it, watched for it on my lunch break. I was quite entertained. It was quite fun, and has sparked some change in the sim racing community. We are towards the back end of qualifying. We've only got a little bit of time left to go. Steve Hefford not really going to be able to put another lap time in,
No.
so that is going to spell an end to the session. So Bramer's on pole.
Yeah, looks like Ivan Bramer is on pole there as well. If you have no idea what we're talking about, guys, head over to the JPB TikTok, and you will see how change was made. Let's just put it that way. For everyone, for the better. So that's all that I was concerned about. So there we go. Right, let's have a look at this grid for race 1. And it is Ewan Bramer on pole, Pete Newman in second with PVG and Tom Griffiths in fourth. John Sylvester fifth and Steve Hefford in sixth. Then you've got Miles Owens and Jamie Ayres and Ralph Cullen, your 9. Arnold Chagnon in 10th with Charles Kellerman and Fiona Siddons in 11th. Jason Addington, Andy Littler, Steve Hansford and Sir Alan Toon is going to finish this one off. Bramer's sat on pole already. He is a little bit of an eager beaver as we're going to get this run underway. So let's get this going. Let's see what happens and see how race 1 goes here. Zach, it's going to be an exciting one, I think.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, the Netherlands and Zandvoort always go over the top. You can see the sea of orange all supporting Bramer and Van Gool out on this race. The 2 Dutchmen are inside the top 3 on this first race, which is going to be mega. Of course, even in sim racing, you still get uplifted by your home race. It's the one that you do want to do well at, and Bramer and Van Gool have got perfect opportunities in order to do that. Let's see how the first 15 minutes of the evening goes.
Here we go. The race is going to be up and running. 5 lights are out. There is your pole man. There is Ewan Bramer. He didn't get very far off the line. Pete Newman got an absolutely barnstorming one on the 118 on the left-hand side. He's going to be going down the inside. Is Newman? PVG's trying to follow him as well. Can Newman hug that inside line and get that run? He can at the moment. Is he going to be able to go too wide around the outside here of turn 2? He's looking up the inside again. He's trying every which way bar Sunday is Pete Newman. Round. No! Newman's gone round! Pete Newman is spun round. He is all the way at the back here. Not the best start for Pete Newman. That's released Ewan Bramer there, Zach. That is huge for young Phil there as well in the Prediction Cup.
Yeah, that is huge news for him, and obviously in his pursuit against Ria. But Ewan Bramer not going to be complaining at all. It's a Dutchman 1-2. Van Gool now able to move up into second place in the opening lap. Trying to keep his fellow countrymen honest, though. Slipstream could be quite important around here. But Bramer, the most important thing for him is to just go. Use this early opportunity as a chance to bridge the gap and hope that the people behind begin to battle, because you can see Steve Hefford not waiting around, nor is Tom Griffiths. This run towards the chicane should be mega.
Yeah, here we go. Griffiths is going to be on the inside here. We're on the gyro on the top of Griffiths. Hefford's going to send it in deep. Griffiths is still going to go and try and chase him. Now cut back underneath him as well. Van Gool's got the exit of that one all wrong. Now Steve Hefford takes that second place with Tom Griffiths still watching back as these Momo guys fight it out. Little dab of the brakes we go. Get it in there, Tom. Get it in. Didn't quite hook up. Got a little bit of understeer going into that corner there, Zach. And unfortunately for Griffiths, he's lost a little bit of time, but he's got Miles Owens, Sylvester and Ayres now climbing up right behind him. This all of a sudden could be literally a 9-car fight for the front here, with Draft kicking in all over the place here, Zach. And now, he's been sent off. He got bumped. Miles Owens got a bump off his teammate. And John Sylvester sent him off, sent him in deep, bumped him right near the corner entry there, Zach. And that's not the best way you do a bump draft.
Well, yeah, that's not the way to treat your teammate either. There you can see trying to look to the inside through 3, but the general consensus is to just keep your foot in the long way round. Look at that run that Sean Yonye now has relative to Miles Owens, purely because he took that long run, let the track do the turning for him, able to keep that minimum speed up, and has now been able to have a good fight with the 986 going into the next corner, and now going through the fast right-hander here at turn 8. You can see it was also very close amongst these 4 who are making up the sort of the second half of the split of the top 10. We've got the top 3, and then it's queues up behind John Sylvester all the way down to Fiona Siddons in P12. A mega start, but yeah, so far the new rescan of Zandvoort showcasing, you know, the effect that it does have on racing.
Yeah, it definitely does there as well. Pete Newman unfortunately sure saw that effect on lap 1 as he went too fast going into turn 3 and spun it up, and then everybody else was there. Bramer's got away at the moment with Steve Efford and Pete Van Gaal. Then we've got Sylvester closely followed by Griffiths in that blue, white and green machine that we've become accustomed to from Tom Griffiths. You've got the Momo yellow and white in front, the Momo black of Jamie Ayres behind it, and then the Irishman of Ralph Cullen sitting behind that. Jason Haddington is currently in that pole position for race 2 with Arnaud Chagnonier leading the AMS for the Air Smart Racing team. He's doing all he can here as well. We've got PVG running side by side with Steve Efford. Down into turn 1 we go. He's going to be harder on the brakes. He's going to be looking up the inside. He's going to get the job done for PVG. Left a bucket load of room there, Zach, from Steve Efford, and a stellar job from PVG. Moves himself up and is now chasing down Ewan Bramer.
Bring it on. What can PVG do in order to try and top his fellow countrymen? Because, you know, they both want to win. They both want to win their home race. Thankfully, they've got 4 of them this evening. Steve Efford, though, fighting with Momo. Momo could use some good points in their pursuit with SOB and that team's championship as well. SOB, for the first season this year, have had the measure over the course of the entirety of it. So Momo need to step it up if they want any chance of retaining their crown going into the 2024 season. Now, as we chuck our way through the middle part of the circuit, it's Bramer that leads Van Gaal, but still not quite close enough to go for a move as of yet, which is a little bit concerning, because it seems that, at least for now, Bramer's the one in control.
It definitely is. Bramer's got this all measured at the moment, and with Steve Efford, John Sylvester, Tom Griffiths and Jamie Ayres right behind him as well, he's going to have a bit of a fight, because they're coming, and they are coming quick at the moment. That gap has gone down from 1.1. It's now down below a second, with John Sylvester bringing Tom Griffiths and Jamie Ayres along the lines with him here as well. Bramer takes the exit curve on the right-hand side. He's now running up to the final corner, turn 13 here, before they go into turn 14 of this circuit. Round the bank, and they're going to go. Van Gaal's got the inside line. It looks like Bramer's going to try and run it from the outside. He's going to go up and down, and now he's on the start-finish straight. Now PVG's got him in his sights. Now comes everybody else at the same time here. Miles Owens and Ralph Cullen going side by side in the background there. Bramer defends the inside line. PVG trying to go around the outside. Hefford's going to try the cut back once more. This is going to hold up everybody else. Here comes Sylvester. Here comes Griffiths. Nobody's really escaping here, Zach, at the moment. And Bramer is under all heaps of pressure. He needs Sylvester to give him a little bit of a help here. Give him a hand up coming and play the team game on Steve Efford. He's got to do something before Bramer just gets swamped right behind, with the Momo guys right behind him.
Oh yeah, John Sylvester, I mean, championship or not, he needs to be playing rear gunner to his teammate in order to apply some support. You know, sandwich them in. Bramer can then, you know, they close the walls in on Momo. They're in control here of SOB. If Bramer can back up PVG and Hefford and allow Sylvester to start applying some pressure from behind, then eventually their defenses are going to crack. Eventually they're going to get to the to their breaking point and fall under pressure. So Sylvester, not only does he want extra points in the championship because he has to close a 44-point deficit to Tom Griffiths, it's also just that support for his teammate and enabling SOB to score more points as a collective. We've still got over half of this race left to go. I don't think Bramer can cope for that long.
No, but I think it's going to be interesting to see whether or not he's going to be able to handle this. I've got to be honest with Ewan Bramer. There's Sylvester, there's Griffiths, there's Ayres. That's looking back off the back end of Bramer. You can see Jamie Ayres, Steve Hefford right behind him with Sylvester closing in. Sylvester has locked onto the back. We're coming into the entrance of turn 14. Bramer takes the wider up in down line, the more conventional almost NASCAR line, but PVG locks it up. He's going to go to to our left-hand side here as well. We're going to have a look. There goes PVG once more. Here he comes. He's going to be going alongside us. He's going to have the inside now. Bramer goes up. There's contact. Contact between Bramer and PVG. They both managed to keep it on track, but here comes everybody else. Here comes Sylvester. Here comes Griffiths. Griffiths is going to try and go around the outside. He's going to have the inside for turn 3. He's gone in deep. He's going to get Bramer at the same time. He's trying to use as much as the curve, but the SOB boys have got the run around the outside. Now dropping through turn 4. Through 5 they go. A 5-way battle here as well. Oh, there's door rubbing on the way down, and Jamie Ayres is coming through on that run over turn 6 before they drop down into the 7. Here's Zach as well. And now we've got Momo, SOB, and Momo there as well. And almost, I suppose, a Momo substitute sitting in 5th place.
Yeah, I suppose. Wait, is Jamie Ayres not with Momo anymore?
Oh, no, 6th place, sorry. Tom Griffiths.
I was going to say.
All right.
I was confused there for a second. No, it's not your fault. I thought I was having a blonde moment for a second. There's a bit of a mistake from Steve Hefford as Bramer tries to sail the long way round. Where is PVG? PVG's off. I thought I saw the smoke. He's locked up and he's gone off at turn 11. Oh, my goodness me. Out of contention and potentially out of this race. This is now Ewan Bramer's chance to launch a counter-attack. He's going to go to the inside of the chicane. Let's see what Hefford can do in order to defend. He's a long way round, gives him the inside for 13. They fly in formation, 2 rows of 2 in the fight for first and the fight for third. Wow.
Did you see Sylvester's snap there? He almost lost that back end. And now we've got Hefford, Sylvester with Bramer in the mix, and Ayres and Griffiths. Griffiths is trying to get past Ayres as best as he can here. Siddons and Newman look like they've just had a form of contact further down the back end of the grid. We'll try and have a look at that back of that one more time. But no, don't take it 3 wide. It's got to be push your teammate through this time, Sylvester, but be careful. You don't want to Miles Owens him and send him deep into turn 1. Bramer's now trying to run that outside line. We've got 2 banks of 2 with Griffiths sitting in the background, just patiently waiting on their run. Round turn 2 we go. Now for that banking of turn 3. Bramer tried to get on the brakes and try to get his line on the way out there. He clearly hadn't prepped up that if he was not high on that banking there, because he hit the brakes, that brought Jamie Ayres right into it. Bramer's trying to take his line on the run out of turn 5. Up over the hill they go for turn 6 now. Griffiths has moved up ahead of Sylvester. He is now in 4th as we're going into the last 4.5 minutes. Don't look away on this one. This is going to get absolutely insane coming over the next couple of laps here, Mr. Sweeney.
Yeah, the stakes are high. The pressure is going to be boiling there. You can see potentially a bit of a look from Ewan Bramer to the inside of turn 10. It was sort of one to attack and to defend all in one. He's been sandwiched between Hefford and Ayres. Of course, looking to the inside once more, but could once more compromise his run. Ayres is always searching for an avenue in order to get one up on the Flying Dutchman just ahead of him. With only a few laps left to go, this is crunch time. Time is a luxury, and it's one that none of these guys have got. With each corner that passes by, with each lap that ticks down, is one less opportunity for them to take the win.
It definitely is. We're coming into the last 4 minutes with lap times of 1:50 on the clock. There's going to probably be one more, maybe at the most. We might get to 8, but we're going to have to see how it pans out. If they carry on fighting like they are at the moment, they're definitely not going to get to 8 here as well. They want to cross the line in about 3:20 to get at least another 2 laps in. You can see Bramer's trying to make the move. You can see they're trying to go 3 wide further back as well. This is never going to work. They are 3 wide further back. Jamie Ayres is in the middle. He's gone in deep now. That's going to bring in Sylvester. Griffiths is going to snatch that opportunity as well. He's now taken 4th place away, and Steve Hefford is under piles and piles of pressure from Ewan Bramer. Ewan's going to go on the high line. Round turn 3. He's going to try and use that banking on the accelerator early. He's going to try and run on the outside. He didn't make it. He didn't make it. Hefford blocked him off, but now we've got Sylvester and Griffiths 2 wide, 2 deep, coming all the way through. And now Ralph Cullinan's coming into play. The Irishman himself fancies a bit of this. They're almost the Guinness, and Ralph Cullinan almost wants to drink it. He's coming into the battle now. This is it. 2, 4, 6 car fight for this front of the line, coming around turn 13 before we go on to 14.
There you can see side by side as well, Griffiths and Ayres battling over 4th place. Griffiths trying to hang on as best he can to stay in touch, because as you approach the final few laps, not only will those that battle towards the back end of it as Bramer looks to go to the inside of Sylvester, they'll start to lose touch of the leaders, but also track position is key. There's only so many places you can make up in the span of a lap. So into the final 2 laps or so, if you're not inside the top 3, you've not really got a massive chance of winning this race. So it's all about getting yourself quickly into contention. So for Ayres, Griffiths, Cullinan, their big gain is going to be trying to find ways past, like that one there. Ayres fighting away with Bramer, trying to demote the Dutchman from pole to off the podium in his home race. We've got, what, 2 laps left to go? Comes down to this.
I think it is going to be 2 laps here as well. 150. Maybe this actually might be the final lap of the race. 52, 51, 50. I think Barney's going to be out waving. You can see Hefford and Sylvester swapping places. There is Barney. It is the final lap of the race. We are going to get to 8. 2 wide, 2 deep going into turn 1. There's contact with Ayres and Bramer. Now we've got the SOBs running on the outside. We've got Tom Griffiths having a fight. The Irishman, Ralph Cullinan's trying to get in. You can see PBG and Miles Owens fighting out further back once more, but they're scrapping all the way here. Bramer's trying to make sure he's on his line. He doesn't. John Sylvester's gone round. Sylvester's gone round on the final lap of the race. Now we've gone down into a Momo 1-2 with Tom Griffiths in the mix as well. Is this going to be Tom Griffiths' victory? Let's see what he can do as we're coming round now, round into turn 7 before we go off to that tricky right-hander of 8 there. Zach, massive for Sylvester. Last lap of the race, did not want to be doing it there.
Nah, definitely not the best place to be going for it, but, well, yeah, we've got a lap and a half left to go. It all comes down to this. I mean, desperation is going to start to creep in, and you can see there Bramer is clutching at short straws. He's got to be careful, though, because the harder he fights in desperation, you know, the worse it's going to make himself. He's going to make it for himself because he's got Ralph Cullinan knocking on his doors. That's why from Jamie Ayres, a swap for the lead once more. Steve Hefford finds his way past. Griffiths now could try to mount a bit of a challenge as he's to the left-hand side. It's the outside for the chicane, but I think Ayres is going to have to tuck in. He is. Bramer trying to put a bit of pressure on as well. We've got a lap and 3 corners left to go.
No,
Hefford's just been able to take the lead. Griffith, is the final lap this one?
Yeah, they got it. He got it just. They were about 5 seconds short going over the line. So at the moment, it is going to be Steve Hefford. It is going to be the man from Momo, looking like he's going to take this victory here in race 1. And now Steve Hefford is going to do it. I think. I don't think we're going to get close enough. He's weaving over the side of the circuit. Griffith is closing and closing and closing. Who's going to get it? You can see further back as well. It looks like Ralph Cullinan didn't get past PVG there as well. Oh, he did get past PVG, sorry. He didn't get past Bramer there for Ralph Cullinan. Arnold Chagnon comes over the line, takes the victory there as well. Charles Kellerman and Sylvester run down to the line, but it is Kellerman out in front here with Andy Littler. Top 11 reverse. This man, Jason Hannington, will be on pole position here as well. But if that's race 1, Mr. Sweeney, well, bring it on for the rest of it.
Yeah, let's do this. Bit of a shame for Bramer, obviously, with how it went for him after being in control for so long. But if you don't cross the line in the lead, you don't get the points for the win. I know that sounds obvious, but you can lead 99.9% of the race. But at the end of the day, if you don't win that, if you don't lead that final 0.1%, then tough luck. Bramer, of course, fell back a little bit towards the end. He's going to have to bounce back for race 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, it definitely is. Here we go. Here are the results. No, they're not.
They're somewhere.
Well, that's very interesting. Come on, try again. There we go. Steve Hefford is your winner with Tom Griffiths in second. Then Jamie Ayres, Ewan Bramer and Ralph Cullinan further back. PVG in sixth for Miles Owens 7th. Arnold Chagnon wraps up the AM victory with Charles Kellerman and John Sylvester. Jason Hannington takes second in the AMs. That's going to put him on pole for race 2. Then we've got Littler there. Andy Littler finishing in 12th. Then we've got Steve Hansford, to Alan Toon, Fiona Siddons and Pete Newman. I don't believe there is anybody behind that. Newman, unfortunately, DNF'd in that race. Let's get your picks in for race 2 here now as well. Top 11 reverse. I'll leave them on the standing on the screen for you because I'm just that nice. Top 11. Who are you going for?
PVG maybe.
I'm going to go with Sylvester.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Not a bad shout. Hang on, where's... Fair enough. Oh, good point. Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Ria's going for Ayres. Sansom is going for Sylvester. So I'll have to add you in here, Colin. We missed your race 1. He's going for Sylvester. Phil, who are you going for? Or has he already said? Oh, Austin's going for Cullinan. Ooh, that's not a bad one. Cullinan. And has Phil literally given up? Come on, Phil. Get him in here, son. Who are you going for? As I'll wait patiently for Phil there as well. I think we can safely say that that was just an unbelievable battle. And we've got Steve Hefford waiting in the waiting room, the winner of race 1. Steve, welcome in, sir. How are you?
Yeah, not so bad. You?
Mate, I think if the racing carries on like that, I'm going to lose my breath by the end of these four races here this evening. That was amazing.
It was. This track is so different. I've never known a track so different. I mean, that turn 3 round the outside, you'll lose half a second if you take the old line. But there's a few corners, I presume you've driven it, but they're nothing like they used to be. It's like a totally different track.
Good fun though, yeah? Because it looked like you were all battling away quite nicely.
Oh, it was a mega race, wasn't it, really? Yeah, so tight.
How's it going to be coming through the pack for race 2 though? Because you're going to be down in 11th.
Well, I'm 6th then, so with draft, I don't know, as long as a bit of luck, I guess, and just I think the thing is just drive your race. Don't try and push it out. I see a lot of people drop back when they're trying to push too hard, and they don't making mistakes or overshooting. You only need to turn 1. If you miss that apex now, you can lose 4, 5, 6 places just through that alone. So yeah, just race my race, drive the track, and just try and finish.
Yeah, well, I think that's got to be the main point, as we all know. Trying to score points in all 4 of these races is the goal for the evening. For you, Steve, it's got to be the same thing, isn't it? Try and complete all 4, get some points on the board, and give yourself a nice little push in the championship.
Yeah, defo. I'm no chance now. I'm down through the ranks after missing races earlier in the year, but for the overall, but we've still got the teams. It's still quite tight, which is what I'm concentrating on now. So yeah, I just need to finish every race.
Yeah, I think you are. You're 121 in the overalls behind SOB, and you are 879 in the overalls for the championship behind Tom Griffiths. So, it's just about getting the points on the board there, bud. Good luck in race 2. I'll pop you back up in the Momo room because you've only got 30 seconds to get ready and get back onto the grid. Been a pleasure as always, Steve, and I'll catch up with you soon, no doubt.
Cheers, guys.
Well, there goes Steve Hefford in race 2. Is that the race 1 winner? Seems very confident. Keep it on the track for race 2. That's got to be the aim, surely.
It does help, yeah. But that's like saying, if you want to win the race, win. That's, it's sort of in that same vein. But it's fair enough. What he's trying to say by that is, don't do anything silly. Don't do anything rash into turn 1. Keep it on the track. Keep it pointing the right way. It's 15 minutes. It's a decent amount of time. There is time to play with in terms of over the course of the race, and you don't need to win the race in lap 1.
Absolutely. There is the grid for race 2. I'll guide you through the grid. We've got Jason Addington, John Sylvester, Charles Kellerman, Arnold Chonier and Miles Owens are your top 5. Then you've got PVG, Ralph Cullinan, Iman Bramer, Jamie Ayres and Tom Griffiths with Steve Hefford and Andy Littler, your top 12. Then you've got Steve Hansford, Sir Alan Toon, Fiona Siddons and Pete Newman at the back end there as well. So for Jason Addington, it's going to be a challenge once more. Is he going to be able to hold on? Can he keep that pole position? We're going to find out very, very shortly. Lights are on. 5. Here we go. It's green once more in race 2. And at the moment, it is Jason Haddington. Sylvester's coming alongside him. I think he's going to have that inside already. Chonier blocks off the run from Miles Owens, and Jason Haddington leads us away. There goes Charles Kellerman. How bad did Charles Kellerman get in the way? Everybody tucked up underneath him. Did manage managed to make it through. Unfortunately for CK there, he just spins it up going round turn 1. Now this is the tricky one. This is where we lost Newman in the first race. Can we keep everybody in this one? It's looking like we have managed to keep everybody here as we go on that run. Now through turn 4, dropping down the hill into 5. Jason Haddington still leading us away with his Air Smart teammate of Arnold Chagnon tucked up right behind him.
Yeah, really, really good start from most. Haddington, Sylvester obviously leading the charge out in front, and this first half of a lap has been fairly successful in fairness. I mean, Kellerman, of course, not really having the best of days, but Newman already up 5 places. Hefford and Griffiths making some good progress forward. People keeping, on their best behaviour. There's Miles Owens looking to the inside of Chagnon to promote himself onto the podium. You can see Chagnon trying to keep it the long way round. Inside for turn 10, of course, you can see just on the left-hand side of the circuit, Chagnon able to find himself back ahead of Miles Owens, but Haddington, I think, going to be under pressure from John Sylvester very soon.
Yeah, it looks like he is here as well. It looks like we've got side by side with Owens and Chagnon as they're going to go through here. Chagnon is on the outside. Miles Owens tucks it up the inside. Now Chagnon's got PVG and Jamie Ayres. Jason Haddington still leading us away. He's still doing a stellar job. Pete Newman up 7 places. He's got off to the line. It looks like we've lost Ewan Bramer. It looks like we've lost Ewan Bramer. What has he been up to as we're coming up over the hill? And now this is down into turn 11, right left chicane. And we've just lost Bramer. He's got him far too deep there. Not entirely sure where he's going. We've lost Ralph Cullinan as well. It looks like Cullinan's at the moment and he's sitting all the way down the back end. Now Haddington's under pressure from Sylvester. He's got his help from Miles Owens. Haddington's on the right hand side in that orange, white and blue. And now Sylvester in the black and white coming underneath him. Miles Owens steady. Sylvester's going to take that outside line. Surely he's going to carry more speed past Jason Haddington. Job done for Sylvester. We've lost Ralph Cullinan. We've lost Kellerman. We've lost Bramer here as well. And it's all gone off in race 2.
Yeah, huge heartbreak, of course, for the home hero of Ewan Bramer. Chagnon fighting away with Haddington in that fight for third. The two teammates, of course, run side by side. Then there goes PVG, or Jamie Ayres, I should say, just to pick his way through and say, cheers, mate. Inside's open, so I'm going to let myself in. PVG then trying to do the same and find his way to the inside off turn 9, and there's contact, and he's sent off. And it's heartbreak for Haddington and for PVG here in race 2. That's tough.
And heartbreak for Sweeney as well, as his pick has just been sent off into the shadow realm here. You can have a look back. PVG goes in, he goes in far too hot, connects with Jason Haddington, spins like a ballerina in Swan Lake, and off he goes. Sylvester's got the gain out in front now by nearly a second over Miles Owens, with Jamie Ayres 1.1 back from that. Now we've got Chagnon, Griffiths, Newman and Hefford all fighting out for the top 7 places here. Jason Haddington, Andy Littler and Fiona Siddons behind that. PVG is still going, so he'll still score points, albeit just maybe not a lot. Chagnon running side by side with Griffiths. Griffiths can do with Jamie Ayres moving over to the right hand side, give him a little bit of a pull, but I think he's going to have that inside line for turn 1. We're going to come down now. Griffiths later on the break sends it in hotter there as well, covers off that inside apex as Chagnon can't get through. Sylvester out in front by a second here, Zach.
Sylvester really growing some legs in race 2. Really impressive stuff, and making the most of the situation around him is Sylvester. He's able to capitalise off other people's wrongdoings. As I said, he's quite a reserved driver, doesn't really take too many risks unless he needs to. That's exactly what he's doing in race 2. He's just being calm, collected, composed, picking his moments and making the most of other people's mistakes. He's got Owens there potentially as a rear gunner, or maybe his first attack in terms of that fight for the lead. But Sylvester, he's keeping everyone at arm's reach, and as long as he can maintain that, he should be good until the end of this race. Couple of battles there, the entirety of the top 7 barely separated by a second apiece. There's potentially a move from Pete Newman to make it 11 places gained in race 2. He's absolutely flying, but Chagnon He doesn't give it up without a fight.
No, he doesn't. Newman there trying to not get himself involved, I think, with Chagnon as well. If he's going to overtake him, he wants to overtake him cleanly. It looks like we've just lost Steve Hansford further back here as we've got Cullinan and Bramer into the pits. I want to have a look and see what happened to Ralph Cullinan. I'm just trying to let this play out in front with Hefford and Newman. I think they're going to settle down until the least to start finish straight. There is Cullinan. What exact... he's already had contact there. He has already had contact as Ralph Cullinan. It looks like his wheel on the front left is already done. So where did he do that? He might have done it here. It is here. It looks like this is where Ralph Cullinan, the Irishman, has done it there. He's going to get clattered on the inside, I think. He is. And then a further bump from Steve Hefford. That's going to what happened to Ralph Cullinan here as well. As we go on to that start-finish straight, Newman now clears Arnold Chagnon in that rundown. Chagnon holds on with a big puff of smoke from Steve Hefford. He's not giving up. He's trying to come around the outside as they go through. Now, dropping round turn 2 into that, obviously, that banking, that newly scanned banking, technically, here at Zandvoort, and Hefford is not going to get a run out of that. Chagnon will, as Chagnon got the racing line, and now they're battling all that one down from turn 4 through turn 5 they go, and then into 6 and 7 there as well. Just goes to show how, if you're off that line going in through turn 3, that banked curve, that's what's going to happen. You've got to be kind of cemented on that line there, Zach, to make sure you can get out of there with speed.
That cutback from Chagnon was so cold. That was honestly amazing. There's the fight back from Hefford, who just picks his way to the inside of turn 9. Runs a little bit wide on the exit, though, and I don't think Chagnon is quite going to be able to fight back again. No, not quite. But yeah, obviously with turn 3, if you take the inside line, you need to commit. And by commit, I mean send it so deep that you end up on the outside of the track anyway, because that's the only way you're getting a position done. Anyone on the outside can just keep their foot in. As oh my goodness me, that is a huge snap of oversteer from the race leader. From Miles Owens, who's under pressure from Jamie Ayres in behind, nearly losing the car, able to hang on. But through turn 3, anyone can just keep their foot in, use the camber to rotate the car, and that makes it so much easier to get some sensational runs, especially if the driver on the inside is forced to go defensive. That is how you get moves done, is you force a driver to the inside of turn 3, very quickly you find yourself with that position. That's what Chagnon did. And now the ebb and flow nature of a pack race like this between Owens, Ayres and Griffiths means that they're constantly putting pressure on each other, and yet still not really able to put much pressure onto Sylvester ahead.
No, Sylvester's leading the way as they come down through turn 2, into 3 they go. You can see Owens always looks for that run off the bank in there as well. He carries speed. Jamie Ayres is trying to carry a little bit more here. Now Jamie Ayres trying to run that right up behind Owens. He's got to be looking up the inside, surely coming in through 6 and 7. Up over they go. Owens goes defensive on the right hand side. Now Jamie Ayres has tried that cutback. Owens is late, trying to shut the door. Just manages to make it work there for Miles Owens. Holds off Jamie Ayres. That gives Sylvester 1.4 seconds out in front now as well, as these guys go off through 8. And now we've got that tricky long 9 where you've just got to wait an absolute age. Start getting the power on now. Now they're going to be side by side. A little bit of door rubbing on the way through. Into turn 10 we go. Sylvester is out in front with Owens, Ayres and Griffiths running side by side, and Pete Newman, who's up 11 places behind him here, Zach. Newman's done a gain and a half, but I can tell you what, Jamie Ayres is not letting Owens go. He's battling away all the way through as they come through turn 11, now through turn 12. Surely this has got to be Ayres' move down that start-finish straight if he doesn't get it done on the outside of 14 first.
He's going to give it a good go. Maybe the cutback could be on for Ayres if he's able to nip back underneath the SOB car like that. Potentially there's contact. He's managed to hold it just as he keeps his foot in now through the final corner. It sparked a little bit of a chain reaction behind us. Here comes Pete Newman. We might well be able to see 3 wide on that run towards turn number 1. Let's see what Newman's stance is. Defensive goes Miles Owens in order to defend that second place. They go 2 wide, 2 deep, and threaded the needle through the middle as Jamie Ayres Is this going to end well?
Three wide round turn one. Griffiths is on the outside. It's got a little bit out of control. They've come the other side. Griffiths still hanging on in there. Owens still hanging on to that position as they come around free. They're all taking pretty much the same line apart from Pete Newman, who unfortunately didn't quite be able to hit the brakes there. Everybody checked up in front of him and it gave him that kind of accordion effect already, and he just had to check up a little bit harder, which has dropped him back as these guys go on the run now over the hill of 6, coming down into Shivlak in turn 7. Round he goes. That was a very, very epic close race in there. 3 wide. Ayres tried to thread it through the middle. He ended up trying to go 3 wide into turn 1, which is literally crazy, and ended up back behind the 2 cars he was trying to overtake anyway. That by the time we got the other side of turn 1.
Yeah, it just goes to show how quickly things can change. You can be on top of the world 1 second, then going into the next corner, all of that progress is then very quickly undone. But it's understandable, a huge snap from Pete Newman. There was no contact from behind, so he's just lost it completely by himself. Completely uncharacteristic of a driver of his caliber, and that means he's got to fight back in order to regain it. Griffiths now making a charge for second. Owens around the outside, could well have the inside for the next corner at 13. He does that. I have to say, Owens is holding his nerve really nicely. And all it's doing is allowing Sylvester to take charge out in front.
Yeah, there's definitely people who would have cracked under pressure here. You can guarantee that one. But Miles Owens has got, he is the man of ice. He's got ice running through his veins. He's managed to hold on. He's been 3 wide. He's been bumped. He's been battled. He's been bruised on that run down now. Once more down the start-finish straight. We got Owens on the left-hand side. Now on the right. Griffiths looking at it on the right-hand side in the blue, white and green. Griffiths is going to try to cut back. He's going to try to cut back. He's going to try it. He didn't quite manage to hold the speed all the way around the corner. Now he's coming through the left-hand kink in through turn 2 we go. Now round turn 3, they're going to be running that same line. They both run the same line, Zach. The main line they need to run, and now it's all about what's going to happen over the next 2 laps.
Yeah, especially when we get to the business end of a race, especially sprint racing, because it's high intensity all throughout it. But then you get to the final 2 laps and people think, hang on, we're running out of time here. We're running out of opportunities. We need to find some way to spark some pressure, to spark some move. And that's when mistakes can happen. When things get turned up to 11, desperate moves come into play. People go for gaps that aren't really there, especially when they're fighting forwards, backwards, lefts and right with 3 other people, all for a high stakes position. This is for P2. This isn't for P11. So this means something, and a lot of these drivers, Griffiths and Ayres, they've got points that they need to maintain in that championship fight.
Yeah, they definitely have here. Once more, we're going to be coming down. This will be the penultimate lap. You can see Sylvester out in front. Looks like he's going to wrap this one up here, does John Sylvester. He's just got to keep it on track. Chagnon looks like he's going to wrap up the AMS as well. He's literally 12 seconds ahead of the nearest AM, which was Jason Hamilton, who was on pole, let's not forget. This fight is far from done. Is Sylvester going to be able to get across the line here before this white flag? 54, 53, 52, 51, 50. Barney should be out. Barney is out. He's waving there, the strongest right arm in iRacing. Now Owens, look at how defensive he is there. 2 wide, 2 deep. Griffiths now going to try the outside line round turn 1. Not really worked here all evening. He's got to slot in. Allow Owens to come. There's contact with Ayres and Newman. Oh, Newman's into the barrier. Griffiths and Owens are running 2 wide down through turn 2. Into 3 they go. And that, unfortunately, there's Zach Newman and Ayres door banging. Newman got spun up and straight round into the barrier goes Newman, and now he's down into 6th. I don't think this battle's still done. I think we're going to have literally, for the last half a lap of this, Griffiths and Owens still going at it. But as you say, fair play to Miles Owens. He has been under the cosh from lap 1, and he's managed to hold on to it, and he's still doing it here as well. I don't think anybody would begrudge Miles Owens' 2nd place here. He has done an amazing job.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, Miles Owens, as Tom Griffiths absolutely launches one to the inside of 10. That was sensational, and all of that hard work Miles Owens has been doing might well be undone. He's going to give it a good fight straight back on the inside of 11 to say no, shut the door, slam it in Griffiths' face, and back up all of the points that we've been making. He has been bulletproof in his defense. but it means nothing if he can't hang on for the final 4 corners.
No, down into 11 and 12 they go. They're going to be side by side. Griffiths is going to try the inside. Then he's going to try the outside. He's going to come back and cut back off him. He's going to look at carrying speed out of turn 12 into 13 they go. He tried to think about the inside. He's got to get that run out of 13 if it's going to make it work. John Sylvester's going to come over the line, but it's going to be all about these two as they're going on the run down now. So Griffiths has managed to get through. Owen's going to slot in behind him here as well. It's going to be Tom Sylvester. Good job. Now who's going to get this? Is it going to be Griffiths? Oh, he snatched it by a nose. Jamie has got Steve Hefford at the line as well. What's going to happen with Fiona Siddons and Jason Hannington as they're coming off this final corner? Haddy in front at the moment in 8th, with Siddons behind in 9th as they're coming over the line as well. It was Griffiths took that second place away from Miles Owens. Such a shame as he did such a good job all the way through that race.
Yeah, he really did. And, you know, at the end of the day, he still came off with the podium. Still great points for SOB in their championship charge, with Sylvester taking the victory as well. So plenty of positives to take. Just not so much for those unfortunately involved in some incidents further back, particularly our 2 Dutchmen of PVG and Ewan Bramer. Their race 2 hasn't exactly gone to plan, but thankfully going forward for race 3, with the random grids that we have got going into the second half of the races, there's plenty of opportunity for them to bounce back.
Yeah, absolutely. We're just waiting for St. Alan Toon to come over the line, then we will bring you up the results. We will then take a brief little break, guys, to go into the next session here once more, but let's bring you up the results of race 2 here. Don't forget, race 3 is a complete random reverse, and John Sylvester is your winner, with Tom Griffiths in 2nd and Miles Owens in 3rd. Then Jamie Ayres and Steve Hefford are your 4-5, with Newman in 6th. Arnold Chagnon takes the win in the AMS, with Jason Hannington and Fiona Siddons, your 1, 2, 3 on that podium, with Andy Littler coming in 10th. Then you've got Charles Kellerman, Pete Van Gaal, Steve Hansford, Sir Alan Toon, Ralph Cullinan, and Ewan Bramer finishing all the way down. Well, guys, it's that time once more of the evening where me and Zach Sweeney top up our drinks, go to the toilet, do what we need to do, but as always, we'll see you after this short break. Okay, guys, we are back for race 3 and 4. I'm still James Parfitt alongside Zach Sweeney here this evening as well. And what an evening of racing we have had here at Zandvoort. It's been nothing short of sensational. There's been 3 wides going around turn 1, crossing the line, winners by a tenth, if not less, here as well. And now race 3 is coming up. Let's see if you can get your picks in for race 3. Get them in now. I've got Rears, I've got Phil's. Zach's going for Jamie Ayres. I'm going for Steve Pefford. We've got Colin Sampson's going for Newman. And then we've got Griffiths for Rhea. Phil's got Ayres. What about you, Austin? What are you doing for race 3 here once more? I reckon if Rhea will accept the responsibility, we should run this championship on all JPB leagues. Well, we can't expect her to do all that, and to be honest, it's a lot for me to keep doing here, Phil. You know what I mean? Let's not overly do it here. But Zach, I've really got to admit, race 1 and race 2 have just been absolutely epic, and I don't think race 3 and 4 are going to be any different.
I would be inclined to agree. Yeah, I mean, race 3 and 4 going into the second half of the evening, it can go one of two ways. It can either ramp up to 100 or sort of die down a little bit. We usually peak race 2, race 3, one of the two, and then race 4 is either a little bit of a slump or sort of on par with the rest of the evening. But all in all, yeah, I think, with the random reverse grid, we have a real mixed match of abilities in different places on the grid. And with, the surprising amount of overtaking that we've had here at Zandvoort should, promote some fantastic racing. Then obviously that mismatched grid that could result in a mismatched order then again sets the grid for race 4, which in of itself could also then have a lot of fun in terms of racing action as well. So, yeah, bring it on. I think, race 3 and 4 here at Zandvoort, they should be pretty good.
It should be there as well. Darryl Wright's going for Ralph Cullinan, partly because he is my hero, he says, going into race 3. So welcome in, Darryl. Thanks so much. You're not driving now. No, you're not. You're not in this race, Darryl. Where are you off to, Darryl, tonight? I work a full-time job and basically a second job with my coding. Yeah, I know, it's a difficult one. Not racing tonight. I'm doing my Christmas duties of turning on the Lincoln Cathedral Xmas tree. Nice. Are you a celebrity, Darryl, that we don't know about then as well? Oh, everybody as well has given me grief this week. Zach Craig Jones has given me grief, and Rob Williams has given me grief, and Tom Weston, partly because my Christmas tree is up with lights on and decorated.
I know people that had their Christmas tree up before Halloween, so I wouldn't stress, mate. I think sort of from early to mid-November is a fairly reasonable time to put it up. I mean, I've already got most of my Christmas shopping done, so
yeah, me too. I did the wife the other day.
So,
grabbed a little black,
big little.
Well,
Break the bank.
No, I didn't break the bank. It was.
I still get paid this month, don't I?
No, it was what was needed. You know what I mean? She's been moaning about this thing for ages. I'm not going to say, just in case she is actually watching, and she does sometimes sneakily watch in the background. So I'm not going to say what it is, but let's just say she keeps moaning about it. So I've gone and got it here as well. I got it. Well, funny enough, it went into the Black Friday sales on Amazon.
Nice.
So, yeah, I know. So it was a bit of a bargain, to be blatantly honest, as well. I think it was reduced by quite a lot, shall we say. So, as I say, I won't tell you all what it is, because just in case she is sneakily watching while she's chilling out there as well, and sometimes she does sit back and watch here as well. But yeah, I'm in the same boat. Most of the Christmas shopping's done. The kids wanted, as the kids get older, as you know, excuse me, as they get older, they all, wanted big stuff. So my sons are, both of my sons are done, and my eldest is done, and that as well. So yeah, Christmas shopping not too bad. We have gone and forwarded this session now as we bring you up the grid for race 3. John Sylvester is on pole with Steve Evan in second, Charles Kellerman and Tom Griffiths, your 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you got Andy Littler, Jamie Ayres, Steve Hansford, Alan Toon, Ralph Cullinan, Pete Bangle, Miles Owens and Pete Newman. Then beyond that, Arnold Chonier, Jason Haddington, Ewan Bramer and Fiona Siddon. So let's get this up and running as we can hide the grid once more here and get this moving and see what happens for race 3. The lights are going to be coming on now. It is Sylvester, it is Hefford on the 1 and 2. Let's see what happens here as well. The lights go out, we're up and way. Sylvester got a barnstorming start. Steve Hefford did not get a great start. On the left hand side, he's got Charles Kellerman trying to come around the outside. They're 4 wide further back with Ralph Cullinan on the furthest part of the circuit, but John Sylvester takes the whole shot down into turn 1. Kellerman's done it again. Oh, he's been hit this time. Charles Kellerman, unfortunately for him, has been hit now through the right-hander of turn 2. Into 3 we go. Steve Hefford latches onto the back of Sylvester. It is Sylvester, it is Hefford, it is Griffiths, and then Andy Littler. But once more there, Charles Kellerman. Well, what can we say about that? Same corner, just a different race.
Yeah, same bad luck, unfortunately, for Charles Kellerman, which is, yeah, just unfortunate, to be fair. Again, I mean, he's a fantastic driver, but when it's not your day, it's not your day. You can't really help it. Everyone has him. You're all human. As a little bit side-by-side in the background, I think we just were able to catch Pete Newman making a move on Miles Owens in that fight for 8th place, but already off to a good start from John Sylvester and Steve Hefford side by side again. Pete Newman trying to pick his way past Ralph Cullinan and make up for a pretty unfortunate and unlucky start relative to his rivals. But yeah, all in all, John Sylvester's having a near-on perfect evening.
Yeah, there as well. Jamie Ayres is off the side of the circuit. He's just lost an absolute bunch of positions as Jamie Ayres has gone all the way down into 9th. John Sylvester opening up 1.4 already. Hefford's under pressure from this man, Tom Griffiths. Then we've got 2.2 back to Pete Van Gaal, who's just coming around the corner. He's under pressure from the Irishman of Cullinan and Newman and also Littler with Jamie Ayres off the side of the circuit. He's now running under pressure from Arnold Chagnon and Jason Hannington. Then they're all taking that little bit of a wide line there. Ralph Cullinan got a little bit of a wobble on. That's going to allow Pete Newman to run all the way around the outside of turn 14. Job done for him. He's going to slot in behind PVG. We got Tom Griffiths and Steve Hefford, who are also side by side once more as they come down into turn 1. They're going to make it through. What about Pete Newman over Ralph Cullinan? He does, but he doesn't quite get PVG, but PVG's gone in deep. Newman has gone in and taken that position away, so that's Newman now up into 4th, up 8 already by the end of lap 1. Before we've even started lap 2 here, Pete Newman is on a flyer. Zach, absolute flyer.
He's a man on a mission. He doesn't wait around. That's Pete Newman for you. He doesn't waste time. He says, all right, I've got 15 minutes. I'm going to spend the first 2 of them making up 8 places just to get myself in contention, and then he's going to work from there. He's going to bridge that gap between himself and Hefford, then maybe get involved in that fight between the 2 of them. Side by side here, contact! And an off. That's Andy Littler having a big off. I think Jamie Ayres was involved in that one as well. That's a huge moment. I'm having a similar evening to Charles Kellerman, to be fair, today. It's not looking good, is it?
No, they're up on lap 2, unfortunately, for Andy Littler and Jamie Ayres. That was on the run out of turn 6, coming over the hill into 7. Hefford's not giving it up with Griffiths, mind you. He's still fighting him here once more. Hefford now into 3rd, down 1 place with the flying Tom Griffiths in front of him. They're trying to close in on John Sylvester. 1.6 seconds there as well. Then we've got Newman, Van Gaal, Cullinan and Owens all in the background. Then coming round the corner we'll have Chagnon, Haddington, Bramer and Ayres as they're fighting it out still as well. Pockets of battles all the way through. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 fights going on now as well, and now it's all about Hefford and Griffiths on that run down that start finish straight. Hefford's going to try and close in as much as he can. It's down to 2.5 temps here, dropping down below 1. You can see action in the background. That's Ralph Cullinan and Pete Van Gaal and Miles Owens taking it 3 wide. PVG's going to make it through. Is Ralph Cullinan? He is at the moment. Miles Owens is also going to try and get through over Cullinan there as well. He loses that line going into turn 2. Cullinan's going to have the inside for 3. It's a more difficult line. Miles Owens takes it there as well. Cullinan tries to open it up. He tries to squeeze Miles Owens onto the grass. Goes Owens. Now they're running side by side on the run over the hill into turn 4 through 5 inside we go. And Miles Owens did manage to stay in front of Cullinan there as well, but a great defense from Cullinan. Then you've got this battle of Bramer, Ayres and Hannington as they're fighting out further down on that run over from 6 down into Shivlak into turn 7 before the long right-handers of 8 and 9 here once more. So battle still commencing here, Zach. Left off from where we've been all evening. Race 1 and race 2 were epic. Race 3 looks like it's going the same way.
Of course, it's the UK SimRacers MX5 Championship. These guys know how to put on a show. John Sylvester, though, he didn't get the memo for that one. He's just sort of like, oh, yeah, all right, in a bit. And just checks out. 2 seconds, clear the rest. I mean, the thing is, as again, he's such a well-reserved driver in that he knows that Griffiths and Hefford, as smart as they are, they will probably end up tripping over themselves at least a couple of times. Hefford might have a look on Griffiths, and Griffiths might then defend. And that's just then going to keep adding to Sylvester's pace and his gap, because Sylvester's not going to slow down. He doesn't intend on slowing down. He doesn't intend on allowing these two to close up. So, yeah, over the course of the next 9 minutes or so, we might not see that 2.5 second gap close much, as there you can see exactly that. Hefford mounting a challenge on Griffiths, once more going to slow themselves down by the time they get to turn number 1, and Sylvester's just going to eat this up. He's going to be loving it.
Yeah, PVG trying to get past Miles Owens there as well. Takes the inside line round turn 1. Owens has got that outside run. PVG's got nowhere to go. Slots in right behind Miles Owens here as well. On that run now through the right-hander of 2. Now we're into 3 to bank it onto the brakes we go. Just trying to pick up the acceleration as early as we possibly can. Newman's run a little bit wide in front of us. There's action with Tom Griffiths and Steve Hefford. Hefford did get the move done down into turn 1 on that run up over the hill into 6, dropping down the other side into 7, onto the brakes we go, trying to carry as much speed round turn 7 before we go on to the run of 8. Now this is where it gets tricky. This is where we've got the right hander, then into that long 9. It's just going to keep going and going and going onto the brakes, trying to latch up the curb on the inside. Now we're trying to pick up the accelerator before we go round turn 10. This is the same kind of tall corner, long corner, pick up the apex late. Off we go now once more onto that run down into 11 and 12. Here is at Zandvoort. It's been an epic evening of racing, and this race is still commencing on with Tom Griffiths, Steve Hefford fighting out for that 1-2. Then John Sylvester out in front, 2.3 seconds now as the guys behind fight once more. Newman's opened up a bit of a gap to Miles Owens and PVG as we're going to be getting ready. Cullinan and Van Gaal. Cullinan's got through on PVG, so that's Cullinan up into 6th, and now we're starting to spread out a little bit here, Zach. So Alan Toon is fighting out with Charles Kellerman, who's got no front end on that MX5, and we can have a look back and see what he got himself up to here around turn 1. It was again for Charles Kellerman. Turn 1, lap 1, same scenario. Too early on the power, spins it up. Who took his bumper? It was Andy Littler took his bumper, and Charles Kellerman is sat in the middle there, Zach. He's just had a bad evening in turn 1.
Yeah, and that is always what sort of sets the tide for the race. You can't win a race on lap 1, but you can definitely lose it. And if you have a spin, if you go into the side of another driver, if another driver goes into the side of you, it casts a shadow over the rest of your race and puts you into that comeback mode, if you've even got an opportunity to come back at all. So fair play to him for at least trying to spark something, to be out there, and still wanting to take the checkered flag, because I know full well if I get smacked off at turn 1 and it's a short race, I'm just like, all right, I'll go join the next session then, because I just don't necessarily enjoy driving on demoralised. Here's this fight with Hefford and Griffiths. Neither of these two are going to be demoralised at all. And then just also in behind that, Pete Newman, well, he's going to be high on adrenaline. He is going to be closing in on this fight. He can see second place.
I agree. Coming into 11 and 12, Griffiths on the brakes, takes curb on the entrance into this, runs around the outside, curb on the exit. He goes for Griffiths with Hefford. Now Newman's on the attack. He's going to pick up the draft coming down this start-finish straight. Through turn 13 we go, and watch this from Pete Newman. He's going to pick it up and he's going to get a run. If it's not 3 wide, I'll be very surprised. By the time we get down into turn 1, Newman seems to have carried a massive amount of speed. On we go go onto the rooftop here as well. Now Newman's, is he going to be looking this time around going into turn one? He's not, he is, he's not, he is. He's late on the brakes, trying to carry that inside line. Hefford loses a lot of time there, gets a little bit offline through turn one. On that run up now, we're going to kink left through the right-hander of turn two, then coming into three, looking on the line on the outside. They all plant it there, Zach. That is definitely the fastest way round that corner to try and carry speed on the exit.
Yeah, that is the important thing. It's exit speed, especially this run towards the fast right-hander at turn 7, because you need it. That is where moves are gained in its entirety. I mean, turn 3, as I've mentioned, that wide line versus that tight line, the speed you can carry around the outside outweighs the short distance of having that inside, because the angle of banking at the bottom of the corner is quite low, and then it sort of not necessarily exponentially increases, but it slopes up quite nicely, so much so that the top of the corner is a lot more banked than the bottom, so you can carry that speed around the outside and have that exit speed, which is so vital. Pete Newman, though, not going to wait around for turn 3. He's going to go to the inside of 11, and it's another race, and it's another face-to-face with a barrier for Pete Newman.
Yeah, he's got no bumper on that MX5. What is his steering like for Pete Newman? Is it still in straight? It's not. It's all over the place there, and unfortunately for Newman, he goes down the order, dropping down into 8th. He's another man that had somewhat of a terrible evening here as well. I think his left-hand front damage on that car. You can see it there. Look, he's got no bumper on it whatsoever, and unfortunately for Newman, he is just a sitting duck for Ewan Bramer, who's going to get him probably by the time we come out of turn 14 here, and he's done an absolute stellar job. Ewan Bramer running round 14, round the outside we go, job done. Newman's going to head into the pits. He has got damage. Oh, he's not going into the pits. He's staying out here, Zach. Is that the right call, though, with the fact that he's got a massive gap behind? But then again, I suppose no fast repairs, you can't go and get the damage done. So he either goes in and sits there and doesn't take any form of points, or stays out and tries to get as much points as possible, as he's got a 10-second gap to Steve Hansford and Fiona Siddons, who are fighting out for the AM 2nd and 3rd here this evening. So Newman's had a tough one. Has he made the right decision to stay out? That's probably going to be up for question.
Depends how safe that car is. I mean, if it's drivable and it's only like half a second a lap slower or whatever, and it's still bearable for Newman to drive, then yeah, sure. I mean, if it's only the front bumper that's off and there's no damage to the steering alignment or anything like that, fair game in my eyes. Yeah, maximize your points. If you're crabbing around 1.5 seconds off the pace, then maybe you've got to think about parking it. But obviously, because you can get away with it, because we've only got 2.5 minutes left of this race, we're about to start the final lap. He can kind of get away with it in that vein as well. So yeah, fair enough. As long as it's not a hazard to himself or others, more importantly others, then yeah, I think it's definitely good just to maximise your points all. But Newman's had the pace today. He's proved that over the course of race 3. He's just not had the complete package.
Amazing, considering what we watch in other series, how he's just the absolute Iceman and he's gone through. It's a little bit of a shame for Pete Newman there once more. You can see Miles Owens go straight defensive. Final lap now. Steve Everett has dropped back from Tom Griffiths by about 1.6 seconds. We've lost Steve Hansford. Cullinan's trying to go the outside of turn 1. That hasn't worked all evening, and I don't expect it to work here. Latch up the inside, get on the gas as soon as you can, and get out of the corner. Consolidate what you've got. Jamie Ayres and Ewan Bramer. Bramer's just taken Ayres there. Ayres is now down to 8th place, with Bramer up into 7th, and Chagnon behind, leading the AMs once more. Arnaud Chagnon done a great job. That could be 3 out of 3 for Chagnon tonight, as he's pretty much taken race 1 and race 2 on the win, and it looks like he's going to get him again. But you've just seen flashes of Cullinan trying to challenge Owens as they're coming round turn 7. Sylvester's been a mountain. Griffiths has done what he's had to do. Hefford's been an amazing job as well. Now it's all about Owens and Cullinan.
Yeah, these guys fighting it out for 4th place. This is really the only battle that's on show. Miles Owens way too wide into turn 10. opens the door for Cullinan to at least have a bit of a look, but Owens very punchy on that counter-attack, looking to the inside of 11. There goes the Irishman, trying to use the agility to go the long way round, but Owens putting the power down and screaming his way to the outside of the circuit to shut that idea down. PVG now in the mix as well. Let's see what his stance can be in his penultimate home race of the season. Looking to go to the outside of the chicane, but the red and white machine of the Momo is not quite close enough. Miles Owens makes an absolute farce of that chicane, but he's able just to hang on to it. But he is really driving that car on a knife's edge.
Yeah, he is, but John Sylvester's going to come over the line. He's going to latch it up for 2 out of 2 for Sylvester here as well. Winner in race 2, winner in race 3. Now we've got Tom Griffiths, Steve Hefford. What's going to happen with this battle here as well? They're going to go on the run down to the line. Cullinan's trying to get the run. PVG's trying to get the run as well. Looks like Owens. Oh, Cullinan, PVG. What's going on with Bramer and Ayres? They're going to come down to the line. It's going to be Ayres. Ayres is going to snatch it at the end by 0.019 of a second, and Jamie Ayres did take that position away there as well. Arnold Chonier comes over, takes the win with Newman, then Siddons, then Kellerman and Haddington, who's into the pits. As you can see, looks like Steve Hansford's at the moment. He's going to be the final one over the line here as well, and another unbelievable race. You can see that there with Cullinan, Van Gaal and Bramer all below a 10th as they've gone over the line. Incredible job from all of these guys going into the warm-up. Here are the results of race 3. John Sylvester in first with Tom Griffiths in second. Then Steve Hefford in third. Miles Owens fourth. Then Ralph Cullinan, Pete Van Gaal, Jamie Ayres and Ewan Bramer round out the top 8. Arnold Chonier takes the win in the AMS with Pete Newman in 10th. Fiona Siddons grabs second in the AMS with Charles Kellerman in 12th. Andy Littler third in the AMS there as well with Sir Alan Toon, Steve Hansford and Jason Haddington. Top 9 reverse here as well for the final race of the evening. Let me know your picks for the final race. Zach, who are you going for? Top 9.
Let's go with... Oh, wow. I've gone for Bramer, I've gone for Ayres, I've gone for Van Gaal. I'm going for Griffiths. Race 4, I think.
Okay, I'm going to go for Bramer as I've not picked him yet. So I think at the front there, it's giving himself an opportunity. Ria, let us know who you're going for. Darrell Wright as well. Who's your pick in race 4? Top 9 reverse. So it'll be Chonier, Bramer, Ayres, PVG, Cullinan, Owens, Hefford, Griffiths and Sylvester. That will be the 9. Ria says that she's going for Owens. Bill, who are you going for? Let's bring us up. Who we got? How many we got left? We've got 3 minutes remaining here as well. PVG for Phil. And Darrell Wright. The celebrity who got to turn on the Christmas lights. He did say, though, celebrity from the 70s couldn't make it for some reason, so they have resorted to just anyone. Well, they got you, so, you know, you come in a close second to any celeb there, mate. So let's big you up a little bit. As we're going in. All right, you're going to get a pick in for race 3. Pete Newman. That's going to be a brave one. And the missus picks. I didn't realise I had Mrs. Wright. Hold on, I've got to write that one down now. Mrs. Wright picks Owens. Okay, Mrs. Wright. I will put you down and add you to the scoreboard here as well. Well, there we go. I've had quite a good night tonight.
I haven't. Again.
I know. Griffiths, Sylvester. I got second. I got a win.
Yeah, all right.
Got a third. Now going into 4. What am I going to get out of this one? Come on, JP.
Is he done talking yet?
No, I'm going to jump you this week. I can see it now.
Go for it, mate. How are you going to... Well,
not in that way,
illegal,
Mr. Sweeney. Behave yourself.
So I've got nothing to take, mate. So by all means.
Yes, well, don't forget, guys, obviously while we're on this 2 minutes of warm-up, you can go and vote in the BCO. Stevie Awards, of course, the nomination stages have been opened up here as well. There's numerous categories that you can vote in. The best driver, the best oval racer, best team, best car, best event, best social media, best livery, best commentary, best photography, and best streamer. So if you want to go and have a look, you can. There are 20 judges here in this season's VCOs. So it'll be 20 judges' opinions as well. So get yourself involved. Go and vote for who you think deserves it and go and have some fun. I'm sure there's some amazing picks coming up as well. Some amazing unknown picks. And yeah, let's just say you might want to rephrase that, Mr. P. Yeah, I know. I've got myself in trouble. I'm just going to sit here silently, Phil, for a minute and waffle on about something completely different as I move away from the innuendos that could get me in trouble once more here with
So we got friends on the jury.
Oh, don't start, Mr.
Boom.
Nobody has got friends on the jury. I can tell you that much. And if anybody has, they're not allowed to vote in the category that their friends are in.
Like me,
no.
so.
And they're not allowed to vote in the category that their friends are in anyway. So all the people that are, relying on their friends, well, it makes no difference because your nomination,
anyway,
they won't be counted on the jury. So there we go. But I can tell you we have got 20 jurors here as well this year. So it's been a great pleasure to be involved with that, with Florian, of course, from VCO. And we have been chatting for pretty much most of this week about the situation. So the warm-up is going to come to the... Charles Kellerman, come on. Oh, no, that was Steve Hansford that time. So, right. Grid is up. Ready to go for race 4. Here's the situation. We're going to have Arnold Chagnon on pole with Ewan Bramer in second and Jamie Ayres in third with PVG in fourth. The third row is going to have Ralph Cullinan and Miles Owens. Fourth will have Steve Hefford and Tom Griffiths. John Sylvester, Pete Newman, Fiona Siddons and Charles Kellerman will round out the top 12. Then we're going to have Andy Littler, Sir Alan Toon, Steve Hansford and Jason Haddington at the back. Jason unfortunately did not finish the last race due to having an incident. So unfortunately for him, he did not finish the last race. But we're just waiting for Pete Newman to get on. Well, does that mean I cannot vote for Zach and not that I would anyway? Well, you can vote for Zach. There's no obligations on anyone you would vote for, really. If you want to vote for Mr. Sweeney, go for yourself, go for your life. If you want to vote for any of the other commentators that you've watched here on the JPB, go for it as well. You can vote for whoever you want to. 4 lights, 5 lights, and the final race of the evening is green, green, green. Chagnon got a very slow getaway. He's trying to come all the way to the left instantly to block off Ewan Bramer, has not had the best nights here as they're going all round turn 1 at the moment. Chagnon takes the whole shot. Siddons gets pushed by Kellerman in turn 1 again for Charles Kellerman. He cannot make it round, but Arnold Chagnon did, and he's got Bramer, Ayres, Vangal, Cullinan and Steve Hefford there as well. Hefford's on the low side. He's going to lose a place to Miles Owens and possibly Tom Griffiths on that run over from turn 4 through turn 5 we go, then to the left hand here once more. There's turn 5 up over the hill 6, and that cost Hefford big style, but Arnold Chagnon still leads us away with Bramer behind him there, Zach.
Yeah, good little start there from Chagnon, it must be said. He's able to hold firm, and to be fair, for once the entirety of the top 6 haven't changed positions. While saying that, PVG has had a huge off now to the fringes of the top 10, maybe even further, as he's still not able to bring it back onto the onto the grey stuff, onto the track, and now he's lost himself 8 places from where he started. Oh, that is very, very unfortunate for PVG. But Chagnon under pressure from Ewan Bramer. Here we go. This could well be the Dutchman's time in the sunshine.
Yeah, it can if he can just keep it on track here for Ewan Bramer as they're coming into turn 11. Tucks it up, round he goes, takes a position away from Chagnon. Now he needs Chagnon to defend like a lion from Jamie Ayres, while Ewan opens up that half a second to a second gap here once more. He needs to open it up. He's got to get it out to a second, Zach. Everybody that's been out at a second has taken the win. So he needs Chagnon to defend as much as possible. Take that inside line, keep it against the wall as best you can, because you need that inside line for turn one. Bramer gives the run to Chagnon to keep him in front. They're closing up now. Jamie Ayres looks like he's going to get the job done. He has got the job done on Chagnon. Cullinan's further back. He's just lost a place to Miles Owens. Pete Newman couldn't come through. You can see the run on the inside works in turn one. Cullinan's trying to come back on round the kink of road two. Now looking to slot in right behind Miles Owens, and they all follow that line there as well. Cullinan got a bit close to Owens and has just lost that place to Pete Newman, who still looks like he's on a bit of a mission here, Zach, to move his way up past Miles Owens at the same time. Bramer now leads by half a second with Jamie Ayres, but Ayres is closing.
He is, bit by bit. Let's see. Newman, obviously, as always, is on a mission. He doesn't wait around, doesn't waste time, and likes to be as efficient as possible in moving his way forward. Let's hope he's not as efficient as finding himself buried in a barrier in race 4, but the podium probably is Newman's target. A little bit of a twitch, a little bit of weakness shown by Owens, and immediately Pete Newman is on the scene, able to make the most of it. And for once, Owens is not able to counter-attack going into turn 11 immediately afterwards. So, great job from Pete Newman, it must be said. He's slowly but surely, well, not even slowly, very much surely picking his way through. Next up is Arnaud Chagnon, who, to be fair, the next nearest now is Jason Haddington in P10. So, he's got some good points in pocket.
Definitely has. Chagnon there is he going to make it 4 out of 4 in the AMS? He's looking like he will as he defends coming into the end of lap 2. He's still got that line over Pete Newman. He's still carrying some pace. Chagnon now just really kind of needs to latch on to the back of Ayres to help him. He's going to be too far back, I think. Here he's about nearly a second away. He goes on the defensive, keep it against the wall. There's no need to open up the inside. Don't give it up here, mate. You're not a puppy who needs his belly tickled, I can tell you that much. Chagnon does manage to hold off Pete Newman. For how long, though? That's going to be the question. And how long can Ewan Bramer hold off Jamie Ayres, who's now also 3 temps back, Zach? It's going to be tough for Bramer.
Will be indeed. It's obviously his shortcoming that happened all the way back in race 1. Dominating for so long, only for it to be stripped right at the end. Pete Newman looking to go to the inside of Chagnon. We saw going through turn 3. That's all it's done is put him on the back foot, and might well see Owens able to put a little bit of pressure onto Newman's just ahead. But yeah, Bramer needs to focus forwards and keep driving the wheels off that car, not get too hung up on what's happening behind him. Just stay consistent, stay on the road, and not let that pressure get to him, because, as I say, it's what happened in race 1, and he drastically lost that P4, I think, in the end from pole.
Yeah, he did. Bramer, Newman nearly getting into the back of Chagnon. Bramer's opened up 6 temps. He seems to have the kind of the capability of getting away from Jamie Ayres coming into that, especially that second and third sector. You can see Bramer quicker. He's opening it out to 6.5 temps. Now the draft plays effect. Comes in a little bit. Bramer's quicker again. Pulls out another temp over Jamie Ayres. 8 temps are coming round the turn 12. Now on that run once more, nearly out at a second. Newman's cleared Chagnon, so is Owens, and now for Chagnon, he's got Hepford and Griffiths fighting out side by side as they're coming round into turn 13, and then Ralph Cullinan behind that with John Sylvester, who of course has taken 2 victories already here this evening, as Sylvester and Cullinan are running side by side onto that start-finish straight. Ayres has closed the gap into about 7 temps. I just don't know if he's got the pace here. Steve Hepford latching onto the back of Tom Griffiths. He's going to be looking up the inside of turn 1, surely. Backs away from Griffiths. Has almost dropped him along. Cullinan's trying to hold that inside round turn 1. He's going to get a run off with Sylvester on the outside here, Zach. No can do for the Irishman, and at the moment he's got to slot in behind, but Pete Newman still just been overtaken by Miles Owens. He's trying to get away Miles Owens as well, and one man has got away is Bramer, and he's done it by 7 temps. Great job. He's done what he needed to do. Can he wrap up the win in race 4?
Not yet. He's not out the storm, because Jamie Ayres is still there, still eager to put some pressure on, and they're also 2 seconds clear of the rest of the pack, which means they're all by themselves, at least for the time being. I think Bramer needs Ayres to be caught up with Owens, so much so that he can just drive away. So either Owens needs to, pull his finger out and start driving faster, or Bramer needs to actually slow down more than anything. just to back Ayres into the pack, let Owens then have a go at him. That's then when Sylvester, or Braymer I should say, then can go, just to use the Sylvester winning, to be fair. I have to say SOB have had an amazing day, for round 11, but Braymer just needs to back him up and then shoot off, sort of like a spring. He's going to pull himself back and then let go, and off he flies into the distance. That, I think, is probably the best bet for him, but right now it's working. He's not under any pressure. So don't change anything.
Yeah, the problem for me on that one is look who's behind. If he starts dropping, he's got to drop 2.2 seconds to Miles Owens. That's massive. That's, putting out, instead of the 150s he has, that's putting out like 151, 152s. That's going to only bring Ayres in, and we know what sort of attack Ayres has got. He's not going to lie down. If you're going to bring him into a battle, he's going to make sure he can get in that battle. They're 3 wide further back with Griffiths behind it. Griffiths is on the inside. Now Newman's under attack as well. Hefford's gone and sent it. Hefford's gone round. Oh, he was going in far too hot there for Hefford. Newman makes his way up into 4th. Owens clears off down the road by 1.2 seconds. I don't think he's going to have enough to try and keep up with the top guys at the moment. But unfortunately for Steve Hefford, job done for him. He's gone round in turn 1 and dropped himself all the way down to 9th place with PBG right behind him. Then you've got Jason Hamilton, Andy Littler and Charles Kellerman scrapping it out. Of course, Kellerman's had difficulties getting round turn 1 this evening as Griffiths, Newman and Sylvester still fight it out for 4, 5 and 6 here, Zach.
So plenty of points on offer, and yeah, these guys obviously are going to be wanting to go for it as best they can. Track looks a little bit weird, a little bit dusty and chalky on either side, which is a little bit strange, but whatever, I suppose. It's just a weird observation. Hopefully not changing too much in terms of the track grip. Might just be some gravel that's been kicked up or something, whatever has caused it. But obviously with the sun getting quite low, track will be cold, so maybe grip is a little bit more sparse, that they're going to have to be working with slightly more slidey cars. But what we have got is Owens being chased down by Newman being chased down by Griffiths, and Griffiths being chased down by Sylvester. This is a very hard-fought fight for third place. I don't see it being anything more than that. I would say that Braymer and Ayres are firmly by themselves in that fight for the win.
Yeah, Ayres is now only, mind you, about 2 tenths down. Braymer's got a decision to make now, and this is where that backing up might come into effect. But he's got to back him up 3 seconds here. You can't leave the inside line open into turn 1. Everybody on the outside, it just hasn't worked. I don't know if Jamie Ayres is gonna... No!
Oh, that's bad. He's landed it, to be fair.
Oh.
For whatever that's worth.
No.
Well,
that happened.
Thanks for watching, ladies and gents. Into turn number 1. Obviously, Braymer trying to defend.
Yeah, he
keeps it nice and tidy. There's nothing wrong with it. And then completely on Ayres, I think. We'll have to watch it from Ayres' perspective to know.
Here we go.
So, into turn 1, Braymer's fine. There was a small twitch, to be fair, a small twitch from the rear end of Braymer, but maybe just awkward?
Well, my race 4 hasn't gone as well as the rest of my evening here for E1 Braymer. Stay in the session though, mate, because you still might get points here. Looks like a wet track. It's not. It's just more of a dusty kind of track, I think, Zach. I think that's the situation, isn't it? It could just be the dust and the sand coming in from the dunes around Zandvoort's racing circuit. I'm going to presume that might be the situation.
Or what Darryl Wright just said, which is the lights have come on and that's why the track looks dusty, because the new iRacing graphics on new scans apparently aren't up to scratch. So maybe there's that as well. Or we can sort of play the real life simulation card as, oh yeah, there's dust on the track or something. I don't know. Yeah, whatever tickles your fancy. Newman fighting away with Miles Owens. Now this is the fight for second, thanks to what's happened. Jamie Ayres as well, because of being slowed down so much. Thankfully for him, has done the right thing of just flooring it and not waiting up for Braymer and just kept going, because he's still, for now at least, in contention for a win. We've now got 5 cars, nose to tail. with less than 4 minutes to go. Let's do it.
Who would you put that on? Would you put it on Ez or would you put it on Bramer? There was a twitch from Bramer, mind you.
Bramer still was predictable enough. He stayed to his line, hit an apex, stayed tight. Yeah, there was a small twitch, but it didn't snap him into the path of Ez as such. I still think Ez could have done more to avoid it, maybe given Bramer some more room as such.
Yeah.
I think all in all, though, I'd put that down more to a racing incident than anything. But it's not my decision to make, so I don't really care.
Well, we'll see what comes of this one here as well. As there's a Newman now scrapping it out. What will be the penultimate lap. Griffiths looks like he's just still hanging on in front of Sylvester. Owens is trying to get himself in this battle once more. Jamie Ayres has put Pete Newman on the grass. That's going to slide Newman up. That's going to bring Owens into play here. And the guys behind are Griffiths and Sylvester on that run now into the right left of turn 11 and 12. Owens has got to just sit there, use the draft down that long straight, close up, but this could be a five-way battle, Zach, going into the final lap.
Yeah, not long left to go at all. Ayres, of course, is going to want to defend it because you never know, right? I mean, if he would have waited up for Bramer, he slam dunk has lost this race. By keeping on going, he's still in contention, so much so that it's down to the stewards what happens. He hasn't given himself that role as judge during executioner. He's not done that. He's still driving this race. There you can see Barney waving the white flag. So Jamie Ayres still has a chance to win this race. He's not sealed his fate as of yet, but Pete Newman might do just that. Going into turn number 1, he can chuck the move to the inside. A little bit of a twitch, though. There's more contact. Pete Newman's just about able to save it, but no, he hasn't. He's off the road with Jamie Ayres. And well, by Pete Newman sealing Jamie Ayres' fate, I meant more so in getting a move done, not completely RKOing him into the shadow realm. But John Sylvester, comically, is now leading the race.
Jamie Ayres has not had a good turn 1 over the last couple of laps here as well, as there was contact with Bramer and Ayres, now contact with Ayres and Newman, and now Sylvester, Griffiths and Owens are your 1, 2, 3, with Jamie Ayres under pressure from Ralph Cullinan as they're going around turn 8 for the final time here this evening. Not entirely sure what went on. We'll have a quick look here once more as they're going into turn 1, funny enough. Same kind of scenario it was. Newman starts sliding, then tries to correct it into Jamie Ayres, and that is what went on that one. Out in front, Sylvester. Is he going to make it? 3 out of the 4 here this evening. He is taking a win in. Final lap, he's on his way to turn 11. Why not?
I think that might be one of the best records I've seen. Have we had a slam dunk?
No, I don't think we've had a free. I don't think so this season.
Fair play, John Sylvester, then. Everything's played into his hands. He's driven so well, done the overtakes, been consistent, had the pace, and in fairness, has had a little bit of luck go his way as well.
Trying to look back over the last couple of laps, but he hasn't. I don't think there was, but it is going to be Sylvester take that checkered flag with Griffiths, with Owens, 1, 2, 3. What's going to happen with Cullinan and Ayres as they come down to the line? Cullinan's going to get it. Cullinan got it this time by 1,000th there as well for Ralph Cullinan. And what about PVG? He comes over the line in front of Steve Hefford. Charles Kellerman over the line in front of Jason Hannington, with Fiona Siddons and Sir Alan Toon just to finish off there as well. Have my picks all been 2-3? Huh? 2-3? What does that mean? You had Owens, you finished in 3. Who did you have in race 3? You had Griffiths, he was second. Race 2, you had Ayres, he wasn't in the top 3 in race 2. And Bramer in race 1, who also wasn't in the top 3, as Sir Alan Toon comes over the line. Gives us the final results of the evening here once more, and it's been an epic evening of racing. Final results of the evening. John Sylvester is your winner. He makes it 3 out of 3. The first man, we think, to do so here in race 2, race 3 and race 4. So a great job for John Sylvester once more. Stellar run from him all evening. Then you've got Tom Griffiths in second. second place, and Miles Owens wraps up the third in the pros. Ralph Cullinan in fourth, Jamie Ayres in fifth. Arnold Chandonnier has made it 4 out of 4 in the pros. That's going to give him a nice little points haul there as well, with PVG in seventh, Steve Hebbard eighth, and Charles Kellerman in ninth. Jason Haddington, he has gone and wrapped up, I believe that's his second podium of the evening here, for third podium of the evening for Jason Haddington. So a great job from him, with Andy Littler rounding out the podium there. Then you got Fiona Siddon, Sir Alan Toon, Pete Newman 1 lap down, Ewan Bramer 2 laps down, and Steve Hansford unfortunately not finishing it off. I thought Bramer was Ayres, just don't remember. Well, let me run through it again. Race 1 you had Bramer, he wasn't. Race 2 you had Ayres, he wasn't. Race 3 you had Griffiths, he was in second. Race 4 you've just got Owens, who was in third. So there we go. Well, Mr. Sweeney, another epic evening of racing here from the UK SimRacers, and I think you can basically say it's been a night to remember with the racing. Zandvoort has delivered some absolutely incredible racing here as well, and I think these guys have done an incredible job once more. So an epic evening of racing for you all to enjoy. Don't forget, guys, as well, we've got some late models coming up later on from the Triple Bypass League. They're at Kern County there as well, and if anybody hasn't seen Kern County, well, it's going to be the first time for me as well. But stay tuned here next week as we go into the final round of round 12 in Monza for the UK SimRacers. Zach, another great evening of racing going on here as well, and looking forward to next week at Monza.
Let's do it. What a chaotic race to round off 3 months of racing, but it's the Temple of Speed, MX5s. Let's see what these guys can do. Should be carnage, should be chaos, should be a lot of fun, and championships to decide. John Sylvester made some big inroads today. I think it's all up for grabs.
Yeah, I think that's going to open up the overall as well, because don't forget, it was Griffiths out in front by 82 points, but Sylvester with his 3 wins is going to put himself well in there with Ayres, Van Gogh and Bramer as well. And obviously in the season, that's also going to, well, Sylvester was only 44 back in the season standings, with Ayres only 49 and Bramer only 111. So I think a lot of these standings are going to get turned on their head by the time we get to the final round of the season at Monza. Zach, Monza of all places for the final round.
Yes, should be a lot of fun. High speed, heavy braking zones, MX5s, and these guys with the championship on the line. I mean, you couldn't write it. You couldn't write it any better, I don't think.
No, you definitely can't there as well. I do love Darryl Wright's comment in YouTube chat. Once, when asked by Roger, how did the light show go? Darryl goes and replies, "You've never seen me turn anything on better." Well, on that note, let's knock this one up for the evening. Thank you to everybody that's joined us. Phil, Rhea, Roger, Darryl here as well, and Lewis McGlave jumping in earlier on. Austin Draper, as always, much appreciated. Let's hope we see you all later on for the late models from the Triple Bypass League at Kern County. But from myself up here in the commentary booth, I've been James Parfitt alongside Zach Sweeney. Take care, have a great week, and you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.